恭喜發財 to all our viewers on Straight Talk. I'm Eugene Chan, your host. As we step into a new lunar year, we have with us again Feng Shui Master and Professional Architect, Mr. Michael Chiang. Every Chinese New Year, Mr. Chiang brings his insights to our show, offering a glimpse into the energies and predictions surrounding the year ahead. Tonight, we explore the significance of the Year of the Dragon, particularly in the context of Hong Kong's dynamic landscape. How can the Year of the Dragon bring Hong Kong prosperity? Welcome again, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Michael, so last year when we asked you what the Year of Rabbit was going to be like, you said that it was going to be a recovering year, and you were right. We finally saw the end of the COVID pandemic and the lifting of all those quarantines and testing requirements by April last year. But you did also say that they were not yet in the prosperous track, but 2023 was going to be a bit better than 2022. So how much better did Hong Kong do last year? Is it to your prediction?
I think so. I think, as you remember, last year I told you that property is going to be very bad. Mm-hmm. At that time, the property was still at the peak, and then it started to climb down.
Right.
This year, I'm going to give a little bit better news again.
Right, okay.
I've been giving bad news for the past 5-6 years.
Right, so
the first one is that the property will not fall and will stay put.
Right.
At the middle of the year. After the middle of the year, the drop will be stopped, but it will not get up as soon as possible. So it will not recover immediately, as you can understand. Properties are very slow in reacting to changes. The second thing is that so I'm sorry to say, but the stock will not recover until end of the year. Mm-hmm. So this year is still very bad for stocks. So it will be a very, a big battle between China and the Western financial institutes. Mm-hmm. But next year, the Year of Dragon, China is doing better. Mm-hmm. So by leaning our back to China now, as everybody is saying, we are backing on China, and then our financial situation will improve.
Right. So far you have touched on, from last year, you would say the property market was at kind of its peak.
Yeah.
Until now, it has dropped quite a lot. And you were predicting by the middle of the year, things will be more stabilized.
Yes.
But in terms of investment for the stock market, they still have some room for correction.
Yes.
Until the end of the year.
Yes.
Right. All right. And also say something you talked about the period of 8 calendar.
Yes.
And you said the last 20 years was not so good for Hong Kong, and 2023 was the start of a stable point.
Yes.
And that with 2024, the next 9 years is going to be called the number 9
yes.
in the Feng Shui calendar. So the next 20 years will be much better than the past. So this Year of the Dragon, this year, will Hong Kong re-emerge prosperous?
Actually, in the period of 9, there are 2 calendars, in a sense. The first one is 2020, where astrologically or astronomically, the Jupiter and Saturn met. That is the start of the pandemic.
Right.
And then we are, from 2020 to until now, we are in what you call the transition period. In the transition period, normally, it will be a lot of chaos. So now we have, for example, 4 wars going on. Mm. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, and then the civil war in Burma and Sudan.
Right.
Everybody forget about that. Mm. Okay? Mm. So, but in 2024, things will be going back to in a more stable state. From all the signs I read, China is going to prosper, okay, in the next 10 years. So there will be bad talks about about 2026 and 2027. And I can tell you, if you check the Western scholars, they have predicted that 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, all 5 years, different people have said that there will be a war with Taiwan. So if it really happens, they say that, you see, we have correctly predicted, because they have predicted all. But I can say that we're not going to have a war in the next 10 years. But I mean 8 years, okay?
Right. Okay, since you're on to that, so you're saying things will be better for Hong Kong this year for sure?
Yes,
because
definitely.
Yeah, but then some of our tourists have returned, but look at our F&B outlets and also retail stores, and still find it very tough. And now even the locals are going to Shenzhen to spend their money. So will things get even worse before it gets better?
I don't know. I forgot last year, what I said last year. But in the period of 9, Shenzhen is on the right track, and Hong Kong is only half. So in the next 20 years, you will see Shenzhen prosperous more than Hong Kong.
Right.
Oh, this is a trend. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we have one very good place that is have good feng shui. That is our boundary and the new development area next to the south of the Shenzhen River.
Right.
So what I'm afraid, well, I'm worried in a sense, is that our bureaucratic system is so backward. You know, we have been talking about this for years. Mm-hmm. For example, you know, past 10 years we talk about the development in Northwest. Mm-hmm. Nothing there.
Right.
So we are worried. I'm worried that, you know, maybe after the 20 years of the period 9, we haven't seen anything built on the area yet.
So you're concerned that, given the past track record,
yes,
Hong Kong don't take advantage again.
Yes,
right.
This is the problem.
So in more particular, so I'm sure the viewers are going to ask you, which industry will do better or worse in 2024 or the Year of the Dragon?
Actually, it's not an annual event. It's a long-term event.
Right.
Okay. The period of 9 is good for fire and metal. Now, people will argue, well, according to the pentology, fire will melt down the metal, right? Mm-hmm. But also according to pentology, all metals are extracted from the earth by fire.
Right.
So the 20-year period is good for heavy industries, which unluckily we haven't had any.
Right.
Our last steel factory in Jiaguan-O was moved away.
Right.
So we don't have much, you know, heavy industries in Hong Kong. But I can say that, you know, all the heavy industries, for example, the cars, railways, trains, heavy cranes, you know, ship building, mm-hmm. and all these heavy industries is having a good 20 years.
Right.
This is one thing. The next one is AI and IT. Right. Now, this
you
is
said the last year.
Yes, this is
IT.
the part. This is the part that probably Hong Kong can participate.
Right.
We may not be
How
able.
about our financial services?
It's still metal, but it's subject to a lot of harassment.
Right. Okay.
So it will be a lot of ups and downs. Mm-hmm. So you can see, you know, our old British Empire said that they are depending on the financial sector.
Right.
But after they move out of EU, you see how they fare.
Right. Michael, you also talked about we have a lot of calamities. We have a lot of flooding, landslide and storms. And last year, and we have the wettest storm in Hong Kong history with Typhoon Hai Koi was in September. We even got a black rainstorm signal. So are we going to have much of that for this year?
This year will be a year of drought, actually. There will be little, on average, there will be not much rain, but we have floodings in summer and spring.
Right, they still have that. And
and also a cold winter, just like this year.
Right, it's getting quite cool recently, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Before we move on the break, I want to ask you something about the world scene. You talk about the wars, the 4 wars going on, and also geopolitical tensions affecting Hong Kong. What will the Year of the Dragon like for Hong Kong people? Is all the geopolitics still affecting us?
I think the geopolitics is affecting us for the next 20 years. It's not going away.
All right.
Okay, because according to the number 9, it belongs to what we call the trigram of Li in Chinese.
Right. Okay.
Li means separation, 分離. So we are separating from the Western influence as well as the all financial and political sectors.
Okay.
So,
all right. Let's take a break now, and viewers, stay tuned. Our Feng Shui Master will be right back here with more personal advice. Welcome back. Thank you, Michael, for giving us your outlook for Hong Kong and the world in the Year of the Dragon. Now, how about on a personal level? Before we move on to that, we just touch on the geopolitical tension, and you say that Hong Kong likely to be affected by that for the next 20 years. There are 4 wars happening at the moment, and I'm sure that doesn't help Hong Kong's economy either. So when is this Russia-Ukraine war going to end? When is this Israel and Hamas and all the other 2 wars?
Now, actually, the Russian-Ukraine war is not going to end in this year. It's probably 2025.
Okay.
Okay. The Israel-Hamas, they have what we call a slot at August. It is possible if they can make peace in August, then the war will stop. Otherwise, it will not stop.
So, I mean, we will still see those unfortunate footings of people getting killed.
Yes, again and again. As for the Burmese civil war, actually, it has now stopped because of the mediation by China,
right?
In a way. So the Sudan war is also on August. Otherwise, it will go on until 2025.
Right, and also in the first part, you also mentioned that people, some of the West are predicting there will be a war between China and Taiwan.
Yes.
In your opinion, there won't be any war for the next 10
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
You mean there's war on the 9th year? Is it what you meant?
No. There is a high probability. That's why. Okay.
Right. So definitely in the next 8 years, we're going to be peaceful.
No, there will be tensions.
Right.
Okay. So probably, for example, in the next 2 years, we maybe have even a small skirmishes between, for example, China and Philippines.
Right. Michael, we have just touched on your thoughts on your prediction about these worldwide wars. And how about become more personal now? Let's look at the different zodiac signs. I mean, definitely this year, which are the signs that are doing well and which are not doing so well?
Now, first, we talk about those ones that are
doing well.
Doing not too well.
Not too well, okay.
Okay. The first one is, of course, the dragon itself.
Okay.
And then the second one is the dog.
Right, okay.
And then the rabbit.
Rabbit again?
Yes, rabbit again, sorry. The chicken or the clock is out of the game, okay? Last year, the clock is very bad. And this year, okay.
Right.
And then the rat. There are 2 minor ones that have small problems. It's the goat and the cow and the ox. Okay? These are the sort of what we call the 6 not so good ones.
So, dragon, and also dog and the rabbit are not doing so well.
And the rat.
Rat, they're not doing so well.
Yes, these 4 are not doing too well. And then the goat and the ox.
Right, okay.
They are minor.
So that means the other 6 are doing well.
Yes, you can say that.
Right. So I'm sure those who have been named now getting a bit worried, including myself. So What can we do?
No,
how bad is it going to be?
The clock is doing well.
Right, okay.
Okay, this year.
Right, so for those who are not doing so well, how bad would it be for the Year of Dragon?
Well, it depends, actually. It depends on your age, first of all. Because if you are in a, well, for example, if you are in the 60s, then you may have problem with sickness and things like that. Okay, but if you are in the 20s, you may have problems like drunk driving or a small car crash or something like that. Right. So it depends on the person. Okay, but
so what can those 6 zodiac signs, what can they do to minimize their negative impact?
Now, the Chinese have a high appreciation of the jade.
Jade.
Now, why is the jade used by the emperor, but gold used by the empress for their seal? It's because they think that the jade have a mystical character,
right,
to help you to avoid calamities. So if you are worried about yourself, about all this, you can wear a jade in your everyday life. Forget about all those talks about, you have to be a dragon jade or a dog jade or something like that. That is commercialism. You never have this in the ancient times.
Right.
Okay?
So you suggest those people?
No, so you have to buy 12 times. Okay? If you wear any jade, you only buy one time.
So basically you're saying that if you're worried, if you belong to one of the 6 zodiacs,
yes,
you think you wear a jade is the most simple way,
yes,
to at least stop some of the negative effects on yourself.
Yes, and sometimes, I've seen people who wear a jade. For example, he has a car crash. His Mercedes is all right out, but he come out unhindered.
Right.
But his jade broken.
Okay. Right. I'm sure all the viewers are waiting to see the chart. Apart from listening to your zodiac sign, we're talking about the chart, the feng shui chart, meaning what we can do to help to enhance your luck or to block some of the not so good things happening to you. Maybe, Michael, you can show the viewers.
Now, this is the year chart sign for the Year of the Dragon. Now, first we start off from the southeast side, because southeast is the position of the year god. Now, this position is also the sign of sickness. So the southeast side have a double calamities.
Right.
So if your house have some, for example, some construction work, or from far distance, or they are doing foundation work, the worst, then I better advise you to rent a hotel and stay out for 6 months or something until they finish the work.
So that means if you're in a flat southeast corner, if there are any major construction going on, you better be very careful. Can't even help with the yellow.
You cannot help with this. This is only for minor things. Right. Okay. Now, if you have this, for the southeast, you have the yellow or earth color carpet with 2 corns beneath, and then 2 plants. Okay, 2 plants on soil. But then also I can do an additional thing. You put 2 package of medicine on the underneath the plants.
Okay.
That will help.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and the next?
And the next one is the middle. The middle is the sign of fighting. So you just put a red carpet there in the middle of your house. That will avoid infight between family members. Okay?
Okay.
And then the next one is the south. Now, south, you put 3 plants and also what we call a water pot. Okay? People familiar with our things, You use a pot, we put 1/3 salt.
All right.
And then fill with water. Then you put 6 corns of one type and 1 corn of another type. So, for example, 50 cents and $6.
The dollar, yeah.
So actually, it's two metals. Okay, so it's a battery.
All right.
So you put there, and it will help to avoid the bad things.
Okay.
If you are happening to have opened the door at the southwest, now I should congratulate you, because this is the place where the best signs are coming.
All right.
So actually, you don't need anything. But if you really want, you can put red flowers at the entrance. That will bring extra luck and extra fortune for you. Okay? And on the west side, now this also is a bad position. So you hang a 5-tier bell or ring or wind charm over there. But I warn you is that the wind charm should not have red tidings. And don't put any red things on the west side of your house.
All right.
Okay? So on the northwest, you can put a bamboo or 4 bamboos in the water, and then put there. That will help also your studies. And so if you have children want to take an exam or something like that, place his study facing this side.
All right.
And then it will help to his study. Okay? On the north side is the place of money. So you can put red flowers there, and then it will help to bring more money to your side.
Right. One more to your east side.
And the northeast, you can put a yellow carpet again, and then with 6 coins there. And then the east side, you can put what we call the moving water. This kind of things that are quite easily on sale. But I have to warn everybody, don't buy those ones with waterfalls.
All right. Okay.
Don't make a sound.
So quiet water.
Yes, quiet
Right.
water.
Okay. What can we wear to start for the good year? What would be a lucky thing to wear? Apart from the jade you mentioned.
Red color?
Red color?
Yes.
Right. Right, okay. Thank you, Master Michael, for sharing your expertise on feng shui with our viewers. As Sushila Rivers, a Hong Kong-based international lawyer, said, Hong Kong is like a dragon, constantly reinvents herself by shedding her scales and emerging stronger with a renewed identity. The Year of the Dragon marks the re-emergence of a prosperous Hong Kong. Have a good evening and see you next week.
恭喜發財。